You guys are getting a raw live reaction. Y'all hear me? I just got off of work, but I parked my car because I needed to read this one part. Sarah, what you put in this book? Sarah don't put crack in this book, y'all. Auntie Sarah put crack in this book. Why nobody? Y'all told me. I am deceased. I'm still buckled up. And then y'all said the second book is back. Stop playing with me. Hi everybody, welcome back or welcome to my channel. For those who are new here, it's your girl Shavalita, and this is Shavalita Reads, where I talk about fangirl, gush, and rant about all things book related. If you are new here, welcome. You came to a great spot with your favorite Haitian. That is me. We're on and popping today. We got a lot in store. We're doing a May wrap up. We're not gonna talk about April. We're gonna pretend April didn't exist, but we're on to May. So May, I had a pretty good book read a good couple of books, been buddy reading with my homegirl, and we've been cracking down some books. So I'm enjoying it. It's a ride. I'm getting closer and closer to my reading goals, and I wanted to sit here and talk to you guys about the books that I read for this month of May. Without any further ado, let's get to the video. It goes on and on and it goes on and on again. So y'all know when I bust out my little black book, what that means. Okay, so the first book that I read, When No One Is Watching, by Alyssa Cole. This was a mystery thriller. Overall, I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. A little bit about the book. Takes place in Brooklyn. This black girl who just moved back to her neighborhood, and there's a lot of changes that's going on in her neighborhood that she grew up in with her mom. So right now her mom is MIA, her mom is sick. Everybody's deeply concerned about her mom. You know how when you're in a neighborhood, you always have that one person that's in your neighborhood that's like everybody grandma. That was Sydney's mom to everybody in that neighborhood. So of course everybody was genuinely concerned, and all of a sudden there's a lot of white people coming into the neighborhood. So it's a predominantly black and brown community. A lot of the new residents are white. If you guys aren't familiar with gentrification is basically the process of which a lot of wealthy people infiltrate urban communities and start come into these neighborhoods. They buy out the businesses, they buy out the houses, and now these people can't live there. So that basically what happens during the book, and there's a sinister reason. There's a lot of that going on. It was pretty good for the most part. Well, I gave it 4 stars because I really did like the storyline. Did feel like at certain parts I was really concerned on what is happening. There was something that I did want to talk about on the blurb. It was talking about how similar to Get Out, and I love me some Get Out. It wasn't giving Get Out. There is a scene to where I understand that Get Out reference, but to say it's just like Get Out, it wasn't given. There were certain parts that once everything is revealed, you're like, oh, okay. It was pretty good. It's very relatable as a black person. As a person of color, you could tell that it was a black woman that wrote this book, because it was a certain part when it came down to hair, when it came down to certain things that's a part of like the black culture. It was beautiful. I enjoyed that. I felt very seen. I felt very much represented. So I did really enjoy that. I did like that. But the ending was a letdown. I felt like, okay, how are they gonna get out of this situation? The way that they got out of that situation, I don't feel like it's very believable. But at the end of the day, I know it is a fiction book. I wasn't really expecting it to end that way. There was like one plot twist. I wasn't expecting it all. I was like, dang. There's a lot of Karen, so I don't know, as a black person or a person of color, if you have PTSD or like triggers on Karens or like racism. Tread lightly with this book because it heavily deals with that. because we're talking on the topic of gentrification. So you're gonna meet a lot of Karens, you're gonna meet a lot of white people that are like making it seem like you're the one that's being delusional, but you're like, sweetie, I'm not stealing. Yeah. So if you have a problem with that, tread lightly or just don't read the book at all. But if you don't have a problem with it, then definitely read it. I definitely recommend it, but it's just the ending was a little let down for me. Next book that I've read, something that I don't really read as often, I wholeheartedly enjoyed it. It's an urban book. Okay, y'all. So I know a lot of people don't really read a lot of urban books. So what do I mean about urban books? Y'all know what I'm talking about. A lot of people say ghetto books, but it's the proper terminology is urban fiction. I did venture out and I did read one book from that genre, and it was actually very good. The book was called Where There's Smoke by Terra Little, and it was actually very, very good. I gave it 4 stars, 4 big stars. I really, really did like it. So basically about this main character, his name is all right, so I forgot his name, but his nickname was called Smoke. So back in the day, he was the prominent drug dealer in his neighborhood. He was getting all the babes, getting all the cash flow, getting all the drugs, all this, that, and the third. Most prominent drug that he was slinging out was crack. So he was selling it, and he had a very loyal customer. Her name was Brienne. She was a crackhead, and she was loyal to him. I guess she had like a childhood crush on him because they did grow up in the same area, in the same neighborhood, and they went to the same school. So she developed a little crush on him growing up. So when he became a drug dealer, she was loyal to him. So ergo only giving money to him, getting drugs only from him. When she didn't have money, she sold anything closest to her, and she ended up selling her body to him. So she had sex with him for crack. And what ended up happening is she ends up pregnant. So when she ends up pregnant, her aunt snatches her up and moves her away. And they basically get separated, right? 16 years later, Smoke is now, I think his name is Avery. So Smoke is now Avery. He is working as a math teacher. He went to the Marines. He has a lot going on in his life. One day while he was teaching, somebody served him court papers. And in the court documents, it's child support. Guess from who? From good old Brienne. He ended up finding out that he has a son by her. So you get to see that dynamic. I don't want to spoil too much. But you guys, the reason why I gave it 4 stars is because at the end of the day, though it's an urban book and though there's like a lot of slang, a lot of like gritty context and all that stuff and gritty themes, it was still a very enjoyable book. It was very powerful message. It was basically a second chance romance. I would classify that as a second chance romance. Though they weren't together initially, I feel like it's a second chance romance because they knew each other. It's also redemption because you see 2 characters, they had a really troubled past. So now there's a redemption story between the both of them, and it's very, very good. It's black love, you guys. Black love in a sense of relationship, black love in a sense of family, black love in a sense of father and son, and I am here for it, you guys. I love this book because the author made the characters so relatable, made the characters so great with the 16-year-old son. He goes through a great character development. I don't want to spoil too much. His name is Isaiah, and Zay, he really, from the beginning to the end, he had a great character development. I really liked it. It was very relatable. It's something that, you know, somebody from your backyard could go through. And I really liked the fact that as a black teenager, he wasn't afraid to share his feelings. Though sometimes when you're at that age, it is kind of hard to express your feelings in the most communicative way, if that makes sense. Instead of just lashing out, really sitting down and explaining what's going on. I felt like the book did a great job doing that. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I liked it. I don't know why I didn't give it a 5. There's a situation that happens with Smoke. I kind of didn't like that part, so I kind of just put it down to a 4. But it's very good. So the next book that I read is another quick read. I read this in literally one sitting. This book is another second chance romance. It is called His Perfect Match by Elaine Overton. And I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. It's a very quick, if you want to get out of your reading slump, if you just want to be at the beach or you're on vacation and you want to read something at the beach or something cute like that, I think that's a great book to read. It's a great comfort read. I read it on my Kindle, so that's something that I might just gloss over. The main characters, Elizabeth, Donovan, and Darius, don't know his last name, they were gonna get married, and all of a sudden Darius got this letter from his fiance saying that she cannot do it, she cannot go forward with the wedding, so she ran off with his brother. Then his brother ended up dying, so he's heartbroken, of course. We don't know why the heck Elizabeth did that macaque thing. So we get into the beginning just like that. That was like 10 years ago. So 10 years later, Darius is working in this beach resort in New Zealand. Something happens to where he gets in contact with his ex-fiance, which is Elizabeth. Something happens. I don't want to spoil it. But what it is good, you guys. There's some type of books, you don't just read it like how you would read other books. This is a type of book, I'm just gonna enjoy the vibes. You know what I'm talking about? Summer is approaching, okay? And you want to go out of town. You want to be at the beach. You want to get your suntan, right? We're just reading it for the vibes. And that's what I did. I read it for the vibes. There were certain unnecessary things that could have been avoided, but we're not gonna focus on that. This is just for the vibes. I did end up giving it 3 stars. Nothing too serious. I still got put it up nonetheless. So if you want something super quick, get at it. The last book that your girl read for the month of May is A Court of Thorn and Roses by Auntie Sarah J. Maas. I gave this baby, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And I'm going to explain why I didn't give this book that 5 out of 5. Now, again, if you're not new to this channel, you know me. You know I don't really dibble and dabble in fairies. So this book dealt with a lot of fairies. The only fairies that I had a general sense of knowing barely was the Cool Prince. Now this baby had a whole shebang with fairies. Okay, so this story is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Well, in the beginning, I really couldn't understand what Beauty and the Beast, where's the reference? But later down within the book, you start understanding why it was kind of like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. But it takes place with the main character. Her name is Terra. She's a part of this world to where the mortals and the fairies cohabit under a treaty. She's out there hunting, y'all. She is poor. She is bottom of the barrel poor. And there's a situation that occurs. She's trying to fight for her life. I don't want to spoil it too much, but at the same time, too, there's so many people that know about this book. Yes, I am hopping on the Sarah J. Maas train late, but let me tell you something about this train. This train is reoccurring, okay? And that means it's gonna keep coming back, okay? So it don't matter if I come at 1:05, even though the train left at 1 o'clock, it's gonna come right back around, and guess what? I'm gonna be there. So let me tell y'all something. The first 200 pages, I was gonna DNF it. It was so slow. This is the type of fantasy read that you gotta make sure you don't have any traces of a reading slump in you before you partake in this journey with A Court of Thorns and Roses. It was ridiculously slow. It did not make sense. But I will say, from pages 239 till the end, Sarah J. Maas put some crack in those pages. It was so good. The ending, I'm gonna tell y'all my favorite character. I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, but y'all just gonna have to deal with it because I have to say something. So let's just get into Terra. We need people like her in the fantasy realm, okay? Because I am so sick and tired of seeing some of these fantasy female characters, damsels in distress. We don't need no damsels in distress in 2022 right now, you heard? We need women like Farrah. We need women like Ren from the Poppy War. We need people like them, okay? And Farrah was giving me that. Let me tell you something about Farrah. Farrah knew what she was supposed to do, okay? She had her bow, she had her arrows, and she knew what to do. She had her hunting knife, and she said, let's go. Okay? We're here for it. I was here for it, and I loved her. She was strong, and she cared about her family, even though her family treated her like a piece of crap. But let me tell you something about my God. When it comes to humbling, he will exalt you. And I was living for it. I loved this character. She was one of my favorite characters, but I feel like my top favorite characters is Lucien. I was feeling for Lucien, okay? And I love banter. I don't like childish banter. It's different. But I love banter between two characters. And I actually was shipping Lucien and Terra because I don't know, I just like their banter. I felt like they were just a better match. My favorite character is Ryson. I hope I'm saying that right. Ryson. But to be honest, when I see his name, because I'm not going to read auto books. There's two type of girls. Girls that read physical books and the girls that get the right pronunciation and read the auto book. I'm the physical book. Whatever pronunciation I make, y'all just going to have to deal with it. Amen? Amen. Ryson, his name looked like it needs to be Rashad. So we're going to call him Rashad, okay? Is that okay with y'all? I just want to call him Rashad because it's just like, as soon as he stepped into the scene, it was on and popping. Okay, Sarah J. Maas knew what she was doing when she put him in the scene. She knew what she was doing when she put him in the scene, y'all. Like, he gave me life. He was giving me everything that I needed for it and more. So now, the least favorite character was Talman. He was so boring. No personality. But y'all can't tell me, oh, it's because of the... I get it. Y'all can't tell me that's the reason why. Because he was just so dry. Caucasian potato salad. Bland. Tasteless. Raisins. We don't want that. We want a season. We want Rashad. Okay? Sarah J. Maas gave me what I needed. And I can't wait for the second book. Let me know, you guys. Comment down below. Let me know if I should do a vlog on A Court of Mist and Theory or just the Sarah J. Maas Court of Thorn and Roses trilogy in general, because it was an experience and I would have so much fun recording like my live reactions for you guys like I did in the little clip that I showed you. And y'all saying that the second book is like the best out of the trilogy. Stop playing with me. You guys, I am so hyped. I am so excited. That wraps it up for my May wrap up. Currently right now, if you guys are still interested, if you guys even care, currently right now, my Goodreads reading goal is 23 out of 30 books. I'm excited. I'm hyped up, y'all. I'm about to get it in. Remember how I told y'all maybe in June or like around that quarter, I will reach that goal or surpass it. And I feel like this month I will accomplish, well, not this month, but the month of June is going to be a month where I'm going to get a lot of books in. I'm just in the vibes right now. I'm just reading, okay? So I got some great TBRs. Y'all know I'm about to finish this trilogy. It's gonna be on and popping. So yes, that's it for my wrap up. And before we head on out, y'all know I can't leave y'all without a Haitian word of the day. I know y'all knew that, right? Okay. Haitian word of the day is kisa. So kisa. So kisa is spelled K-I-S-A. Kisa is what? Okay? So we all know what is, right? When we're asking a question, what is this? What is that? What is she doing? What is he doing? When you want to ask questions like that, you say kisa. So if I want to say kisa saye or kisa la manger, I just said, what is she eating? Or what is that? So what? What? It's an expressive sound as well. Like if you're shocked, kisa, right? Or kisa, stuff like that. Kisa la manger, I just said, what is she eating? Or what is that? So what? What? And it's an expressive sound as well. Like if you're shocked, kisa, right? Or kisa, stuff like that.
I have a reminder for Chevy.
Thanks, Google. So yes, so kisa. So again, when it comes to doing the onomatopoeia of Haitian words, this is one of those words where you have to put a lot of body language, because with Creole, it is 98% body language and 2% vocal. So when you have that kisa, or when you're in shock, kisa, okay? So you guys, I'm telling you, you keep rocking with me, you keep following me, you keep watching my videos, you'll know Creole. Thank you so much for watching. Tune into the next video. Thank you guys again for supporting. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. If you agree about any of these books that I read, if you even read in any of these books, put it down below. Let me know. Let's chat. Let's talk. Follow me on my social media. I have a Twitter. I be on Twitter a lot. I'm on Goodreads a lot. So, connect with me. Let's talk about books, as we say in my native language. Bye.